Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Divorce Made Me Funny. I'm your host, Reagan, and I'm just going to be honest with you guys right off the bat. I did not have an episode planned. If you've listened to every single episode, I'm sure you listened to my 10 episode check in, and I was like, y'all, I'm getting so bad at planning episodes. It's so true. I have just. I started the podcast for a creative outlet, and now I'm having, what do they call, like, writer's block, but for podcast block? Like, I've just been struggling all around with the whole thing and just feeling a little unmotivated, and it sucks because I love doing this. And I don't know. I thought I would just come on here and talk about this week and I don't know, what I've experienced maybe and how I kind of got through it a little bit. I had a rough week, I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to get into like specifics or anything because, some things I should probably keep off the internet. But, and let me also say, like, my life is not hard. It's the easiest it'll ever be. It just was one of those weeks where nothing was going right and I was very frustrated, and I don't know. I thought it'd be kind of good to talk through it and talk how I got through it. So that's kind of, this episode will probably just be a bunch of word vomit. So click off now if you're like, oh my God, I can't listen to Reagan talk. But it's actually currently Monday evening. It's 7 p.m. and the sun is out. So I'm like, yes, I can, record and, not feel like I need to go to bed, which is amazing. We love the daylight savings. And if you're watching on YouTube, hang on, my knees are covering my entire body. I'm wearing the very first ever Divorce Made Me Funny merch. I love that I can say that. Me acting like an influencer. Like, oh my gosh, my fucking sweatpants are making me look ginormous, and I'm waiting for the screen mirroring to like stop. But you know what? Whatever. It's fine. This is my body. But yeah, I love it. I'm like so in love with it. It's just the logo on a blue t-shirt. It is nothing crazy. But a couple weeks ago, I had texted my dad, Troy, and if y'all know my dad, he has a variety of brands that he has just created. Some are legit, some are in his mind. Some highlights are the Rock Nettle Cantina, CM Coastal, and then some of the not highlights are Carl with a K, And if you know, you know, and if you don't, you don't. But he is a regular with Custom Ink. So when I was, having a podcast, I was like, I need merch. I texted him and I said, hey, can you help me make Divorce Made Me Funny merch? And he was like, sure, send logo. And I was like, all right. So I sent him the logo and crickets, nothing. A week went by and I texted him again and I was like, hey, did you ever get to, work on that, Divorce Made Me Funny merch? And he was like, oh yeah, I did. It's ordered. And I was like, I was not informed of any proofs or anything. I was like, what the hell did you order? And he was like, you'll see. And he just ordered a couple of these blue Gildan tees with the logo on it. But like, I don't know. It's just like so fun to see it just on a t-shirt and live. And I have some other ideas. I didn't realize how easy it would be to make merch. I'll shout out my coworker Tristan real quick. He had the idea of making a hat and then having the DMMF logo on it. And if you've seen that logo, it's usually on the reels in the top left corner. Having that on the front of the hat and then on the back, like curved, in that little hole. I don't know what the official term is, saying, ask me why, divorce made me funny. And then I also had the idea of just the bow logo on the front of the hat and then the have a bow day on the back. I don't know. I just have so many ideas. Katie, my friend Katie, who has been on the pod, she's had some ideas for like baby tees, and it's just fun. Like, I didn't realize how much fun it could be to have like something you created on a t-shirt. Now let's, not get too crazy. This logo was made on Canva. I'm not a graphic designer, but like, it's still just fun. And it's like, oh my gosh, it's real. So yeah, let me know if you want a Divorce Made Me Funny t-shirt, and I'll give it to you. First come, first serve. There's not many, so let me know while supplies last. But yeah, so that's exciting stuff happening at the Divorce Made Me Funny podcast. Who knows? Might need to hire an assistant. Goddamn. But let's, get into the weekly bits. So Bode, Humbling Experience, and Fave/Rec. My Bode this week, I'll get into, I'm going to get into that in a second. But my Bode this week was definitely Friday. Ariana Grande's new album, Eternal Sunshine, dropped, and I could not be happier. If you know me, I love Ariana. She slays, had to say it. And she hasn't released music in 4 fucking years. And it's felt like forever. And not that I was never not an Ari fan, and some of y'all I'm sure are like, Homewrecker. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Who cares? But that album, honestly, was so amazing and such a comeback. Like, dare I say, probably my favorite. I love it. My top 3 songs right now, and I'm sure they won't change, are We Can't Be Friends, Eternal Sunshine, and I'm going to go with I Wish I Hated You or Ordinary Things. Those are tied for third. And it's such a great album. It's just like what I needed. It feels like you go through the 7 stages of grief. Is it 7 stages or is it 5 stages of grief? Maybe it's 5 stages. 5 stages. Maybe it's 7 stages of like dying. Like what's it called when you when your body rots? What the hell is that called? Whatever. 5 stages of grief. Let me stay on track. But it was just so good, and I loved it. And then I watched her at the Oscars last night, and I was like, oh my gosh, slay queen. I watched her on SNL. Seeing her perform live for the first time in forever was just so fun. I just have missed being an Ariana fan because she just hasn't released anything, so there's nothing to have been like excited about, and I'm just so excited. And yeah, that was just like the highlight of my day. I'll admit it. I also want to say that my top 3 albums are definitely Eternal Sunshine, Sweetener, and Thank You Next. Don't fight me. Those are literally her best albums, but that was definitely my Bode. My Humbling Experience. It's hard to pick just one from this week. This week was full of them, like full of the humbling experiences. I think I will go with, since I have a plethora of ones. Now I'm blanking. I think it was honestly yesterday. I went to Hotworks, and I guess with the time change, they had not the new workouts hadn't synced up with the new time. And when I got there, the workout I wanted to do wasn't the workout. It was, I wanted to do hot stretch, and then the one that was going, I think, was hot bar none or something. But then I went in a hot Pilates, and they were like, oh, hot stretch is actually going. Like, you can go. The owner was there while I was there. And I was like, oh, okay, slay. Went into hot stretch. 5 minutes into the workout, it turns off and it resets to bar none. And I'm like, damn. And then I had booked that at 4:30, and at this point it was probably maybe 4:45, 5 o'clock, I don't know. This girl who had booked hot bar none at 5:15 came in, and they let her know that everything was wonky. and how she wanted to do it. And they told her that I was currently in it. And I have said this. I do not work out with people in the hot works. Now, the like hit sessions, I don't really care because it was only 15 minutes, but the 45-minute ones, if you like don't have issues with sweating with someone that close, that's like you don't know, that's like a stranger, you're fucking weird. I said it. You piss me the fuck off if you do that. It's weird. I don't care. And I was like, fuck, this girl is not hopping in here with me. So I just offered to leave. I literally got out and I was like, you can go in there, girl. I didn't even want to do bar 9. I'm just going to go home. And I mean, it was just kind of like the way I had to like leave and like get all my stuff. And she was just watching me. And I was like, get out. Like, can you wait a second? Like for me to get my stuff. And then the owner's just trying to like, I'm sorry. And I was like, no, girl, like it's totally fine. Like, I don't care. I just gotta go. And I don't know. And that other girl like didn't even say like thank you. Like she just like hopped in. I was like, you could have said thank you for getting out of your workout 30 minutes before your workout actually started. I was just like, this is weird. So I mean, it wasn't like the worst humbling experience ever, but it was just kind of like, okay, I don't know. But that was just one because, about to talk about my week. And my fave/wreck this week is honestly, I have 3, is Eternal Sunshine. Listen to it. If you haven't, I recommend it. The Drink Up face mask. I mentioned that in my episode last week. And walking. Just walk. I walked for, I think, like 15 miles this weekend. I walked, 15 might be a stretch. I'm pretty sure, because I wish I had my watch on me so I could check, but Caroline and I walked 10 miles on Saturday, or it was 8, I can't remember. And then we walked 4 on Sunday. So if it's not 15, it was 12. Anyway, all the same, walked a ton, and it just like felt really nice. Felt good to do the Dallas Girl mornings and walk around and drink coffee and just catch up and, not think about anything except for walking. I don't know what I'm saying. But I those are the 3 things that I recommend. And that's it for the weekly bits. Moving right along into the episode that I don't have planned. I really just wanted to talk about how to get out of that funk, I guess, or the mindset that I was having. I had my first experience of where I purposefully wore a bow, and I had a horrible day, and it made me lose my my trust, my belief in the bow days. I was like, wait, maybe wearing a bow doesn't make your day magically better or whatever. And then I really thought about it. After the day had ended, I was just sitting there thinking of whatever the whole day and the events that occurred. Again, it's nothing crazy. It was just something I thought would happen and it didn't. And I was like, okay, wait, I could have been better in that situation. I kind of let the situation happen the way it happened. I didn't do anything to assert it or to assert myself and change it. So it's like you can't really blame the bow when you didn't do everything that you could have in that situation. And I was just like, don't blame the bow. Do not lose your belief in the bow day. Like that's in your entire brand. You can't, write off the bow just for one lousy day. And I was like, Reagan, you're so right in my own head. I also discovered that National Bow Day is August 19th, which means I need to plan something amazing. But with all that to say, yeah, I was just losing. I was like, this week is going to be awful now. And with that being said, I had an awful week. I cried every single day because I'm just a silly little girl who cries all the time. I have no other way to express emotion except for crying. And I'm kidding. But it was just like one thing after the other, or something didn't go right. And I just couldn't help but feel sorry for myself. And it just became a mindset thing where I was just convinced that for the rest of the week, I was going to have a bad week. And that's, like I said, that's what happened. And I hate that I let myself feel like that, because for this past year, honestly, attempting to do 75 hard and then kind of committing to being a better version of myself, I haven't really had any like crazy bad days. And then all of a sudden, this week happened, and it was just, a lot of inconveniences in a short amount of time. And it was, y'all know when it gets like that, it sucks. And you're just like, what do you do to get through it? Like, what am I supposed to do? And it really, I hate to feel like a broken record, but you just have to start thinking about having a better day. That sounds like a lot easier said than done. And I hate the lighting now. Time has passed, and I'm looking at myself, and I'm like, could have finished this episode a while ago, Reagan. Now the natural light is gone, and you have to use different sources of lighting. But, oh well. But it's really like, I don't know. Today was the first day I woke up and didn't think I was going to have an awful day. And I didn't. I had a pretty good day. I'm smiling, and I'm not crying. I didn't cry today. And so it's like, yay. But honestly, the way I got through the week was just letting myself feel it. I think it's okay to let yourself feel the emotions, and you can write it off as like whatever. I don't know. I don't think it's a crime to let out feelings that you've kind of bottled up for a while, I'm not saying that I haven't cried in a while, but feeling just, it's okay to feel sorry for yourself and then get back up and be like, all right, I'm ready to go. Now when you play victim for too long, you do become insufferable. Trust me, as someone who played victim for way too fucking long, it's not fun. But just being able to be like, yeah, whatever, and then get back on the horse and ride into the night. But also making sure you're taking care of yourself when you're feeling like that. I was just really adamant on, like, I worked out every single day. I surrounded myself with friends. I was doing the things that, make me happy and not as a distraction to everything. And again, I'm acting like let me literally say it was just a bunch of inconveniences at one time. Nothing traumatic happened. I'm not trying to, give off that vibe. I'm not trying to be like, ooh, I'm sad. Everybody feels sorry for me. No, I was just having a tough week. And I really, I believe that working out those frustrations in, like, with physical activity really helps. Like, I was hot rowing at Hot Works, aka Hot Thunder, and then they're like, sprint to the finish, and I'm like, bitch, I'm sprinting because I'm like, I would get there like so fired up and amped up and like just ready to, and then I would be, and y'all, if you're listening, you can't tell what I just did, but if you're watching, I was imitating rowing. I just was, earning the burn, getting the best out of it. And then after I was done with whatever workout I was doing, I felt so relieved afterwards. It's like the weight is lifted off of your shoulders. I made sure I did my skincare every night. I made sure everybody who played trivia was having the time of their life on Wednesday. And y'all, wait, side story. There were these teenage boys there, and they were flirting with me. And I was like, y'all, I was texting Allison during it, and I was like, these teenage boys keep flirting with me, and I feel really uncomfortable. They were with their mom, so like, or their moms. There was like 2 moms and like 4 boys. I'm sure not all of them were friends or whatever, but they were like, can we go up there with you? I'm like, no. And they're like, are we allowed to use our phones? I'm like, have you ever played trivia? Like, no. It was just little things like that. And I was texting Allison. I was like, I'm pretty sure these like 17-year-olds are like flirting with me right now. And she was like, do they know you're closer to 30? And I was like, why would you say that to me? But still, like, it was like one of the first times I felt like real comfortable with trivia, and I've befriended all of the workers or the servers and bartenders at the place I host at. So I'm like, okay, I'm a regular now. I know what I'm doing. It's not that hard. I used to be like terrified, but it was still so fun, and it took my mind off of a lot. And I didn't get to play trivia this week, like play it. I feel like such a nerd. I'm like, I play trivia like all the time. Trivia takes up my life, but my trivia that I play got canceled, which sucks, but it's okay. And then I spent the weekend just surrounded by friends and just really honestly didn't let myself be alone. Allison came over on Friday, and my frustration with Friday was that like she had dyed my hair, like box dyed it, because fun fact, I have naturally gray hair, well, basically naturally gray hair. So I don't have to spend thousands of dollars at the salon. Sometimes I touch it up myself, but my roots aren't taking the color. So my roots look so bad, and my hair is so dark, and I've never had a bad experience with like box dye because it's just brown. It's just like a brunette color. And now it's just like, it looks like red at the top and then like brown at the bottom. I'm not kidding. Like, that's what my hair looks like, and it's so embarrassing. And I just hate it. I'm like, why is it doing that? I don't know why it's not taking the color. I've never had that happen before. But again, another inconvenience that happened this week. And then I just made sure I spent my weekend with my friend Caroline, and we walked, like I said, and we went to the movies, and we got lunch with some of our other friends, and then we got dinner. Like, we were just kind of like going, went to the Dallas Farmers Market for the first time, and it just felt good to not be alone and to, not deal with my feelings. And then getting home on Sunday, I was totally fine and ready for the week. And I just really think it's okay to let yourself have a bad week and to feel it, and then to go from there and make a game plan, and like, don't dwell in it. Like, life is fine. It's just it was just a rough go of it. I don't know. I feel like I'm just word vomiting about my week, and that can be okay sometimes. I don't know. I just did not want to not have an episode go out this week. I hope y'all aren't mad at me for putting out awful episodes or to talking about myself too much. I really want to have, more guests on. It's just I haven't had any creative ideas. I mean, I do have 2 guests that I need to get booked. It's just scheduling mishaps, all right? And other guest, Allison is coming back. I know y'all know Allison. Katie should be coming back soon. She better be listening to this, so I, make her commit to it. But yeah, honestly, y'all, I'm sorry. That's what I have for the episode. I was just, this episode was so bad. Wait, I should maybe keep going. I'm trying to think of like something that I could talk about that was inconvenient, that was an inconvenience and was funny. Oh, today I found out that my insurance doesn't take my birth control anymore. The same birth control I've been taking for 7 years, almost 8. And I never had any issues with this birth control, to my knowledge. I didn't have how birth control can give you like a crazy weight gain or something. I did not have that here. I didn't feel depressed or anything. And I found out that my insurance doesn't cover it anymore. And I'm like, that is so fucking rude. New insurance. I thought you were supposed to, be the best insurance ever. You can't cover some Lola Western. That is so fucked up. Anyway, so Bestie Doug calls the insurance company and they're like, okay, these are the prescriptions we can cover, whatever. And I call my gynecologist and they're like texting me and they're like, okay, we'll put you on this one. And I was like, okay, wait, back up. Girl's worried about some depression and weight gain. Like, can we talk about that? And they're like, it's literally the same thing. And I was like, okay, but here's the thing. I've lost some LBs all on my own, this year. I'm serious. I do not want to gain any weight because I will literally lose it. Like I've worked like really hard this year to like, fix it. And they were like, it's fine. And I was like, okay, but if I gain weight, I will be depressed. Like I will not be happy with it. And I said literally everything I just said verbatim to Snapchat. I was Snapchatting a few of my friends. And I guess when you say depression, balloons pop up out of your head. So I was just like depression and then the balloons flew. And I was like, why are these balloons here? That was really random. Oh my God. Reagan, host, like be a podcaster. You know how to be one. I'm sorry. I feel like telling stories now. That was really like that happened today. That didn't even happen last week. So I'm like, Reagan, that wasn't even a part of, the inconvenience. It was just a lot. All right. I just was sad, but I think I'm going to end this one early. This is going to be a short ep. Literally none of it made sense. Maybe I should call this episode nonsense. I think I might do that. Kind of like the Sabrina Carpenter nonsense song. I'm trying to think of an outro, that she does every single, if you keep up, especially if you're a Swiftie now and she's keeping up with the Air Store. I don't have an outro, but I should have thought of one. Dang, I'm sad. But anyway, okay. Anyway, I just had a bad week and it was all mindset. And now this week I'm going to have a normal mindset. I also almost wait, back up again. And then I'll be done. I almost lost all of my podcast footage. That's why if you follow the Instagram and you're like, where has she been? I recorded last week's episode and lost it. I had no idea where it went. It's because I ran out of fucking storage on my laptop because I'm an idiot and I didn't put anything into Dropbox or another, safe place to put, your files. Anyway, with all that being said, I was losing my mind, but then my coworker helped me find it and I was like, oh, thank God. And then I put it all into Dropbox. So I should hopefully have some content going out in the next couple days, but I apologize for not posting that. Okay, I'm actually going to go because this doesn't make any sense, but it's Monday night and this needs to go out on Wednesday. So thank you all for tuning in. Again, if you want a Divorce Made Me Funny, I wish I looked better because this light is kind of slaying, but whatever for y'all watching on YouTube. But if you want a Divorce Made Me Funny shirt, let a girl know. I will give it to you. First come, first serve. I won't make you pay for it because, or maybe I should. $1. I don't know. Just let me know if you want one. Or maybe don't, and I will just give it out to people who I think deserve one. And I hope you all have a amazing week, month, year, because we all have the capability to have one. You don't have to play victim. If you say you're going to have a good day, you'll have a good day. Again, if nothing crazy out of your control happens, but if all the things that are in your control makes sense. You get what you're picking up when I'm putting down. Anyway, I'm literally calling this episode nonsense. Thank you, Sabrina Carpenter. I wish I could get the rights to nonsense, but I can't. But anyway, love you guys. Sorry for talking nonsense for about 30 minutes, but love you all. I will have better episodes planned. I promise. I just didn't want another episode or another week to go without an episode. But anyway, okay. Peace and love. I'm sorry for how awful this episode was. Bye.